Hey, beautiful. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the time that you watch this. I broke out the tiny mic again because I want to talk to you about something. So, check it. I am on my way to another funeral, one of my least favorite places to go, right? And you have absolutely, unless you're brand new here, you have heard me say before, when I experience a loss in my immediate circle, in my larger community, and honestly, y'all, even in the world, it makes me take stock of what I have going on. It brings me right back to the moment when I lay in a hospital bed, when I had to make the important things important again, when I had to make the vital things become vital again. There's nothing like loss that literally makes me get very, very serious about self inventory and what it is that I want to do and who it is that I want to be. And so I want to encourage you to do the same prayerfully. You don't have to experience loss to do it, but I'm going to talk for a second about a loss that we all recently shared, and then I want to tell you what that, coupled with a few other things, mean to me. So, of course, even though, and I don't want this to be super somber, but I want it to be serious, and I do seriously want you to, of course, share this. Comment below on what loss has done to you in the past. And maybe you, after watching this video and listen to this, will decide differently. Maybe it shifted you to a negative place. Maybe it was oppressive to you before. Maybe it really took you down a dark road. And maybe, just maybe this time, you'll decide, no, I'm going to use this as a launching pad. I'm going to use it as something that's going to empower, encourage me, and I'm going to use it for good. Just maybe. That is that is my prayer. That is my hope. So um recently we got the news that our beloved Malcolm Jamal Warner, who we knew and loved as Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show, we grew up with him. We saw him play adult characters that we loved or loved to hate. And we saw him date as a celebrity. You know, we saw him create music and poetry and art and all of those things. We saw him do activism and philanthropy in his own way. And now we don't have him anymore. And what hit me is that he is not much older than my husband and not even as old as my sister and brother. And so it's like, whoa. And it made me think of something. So, as you heard me say a few moments ago, I'm on my way to a funeral, not Malcolm Jamal Warner's. I wasn't invited and not sure if I would go. um, a close friend of mine lost his mom recently, and she was a fan and follower. I bless God. I called her my queen. And I thank God whenever I would see her little bubble pop up on my social media. And she didn't know, wasn't very tech savvy. She didn't know a lot of things to type, but she would type hi or she would type yes. And did my heart so good. She's one of the seasoned saints that I bragged on because when those old school believers tune in to what I have to say, knowing that they have lived, they have seen, they have been burdened, and they have also been exposed to some good, sound teaching, for them to want to hear anything that God has to say through me is and was a big deal. And so she is no longer with us. And I'm going to go share and provide some love and comfort to her family and my good friend and brother who is her son. But more than anything, it made me think about the importance and sacredness of life with the importance of knowing what brings you joy and going after that. One thing that brought her great joy was spending time with her son and shopping at Hammocks. That is a little old Southern lady store. They sell those nylon pants with the rubber waist, and they sell shoes with thick rubber soles and comfort padding inside, things like that. They sell those old school white and tan bras. You can get a slip. Some of y'all might not even know what a slip is. That's usually satin or silk undergarment to help to help shield from panty lines under clothes, to help shield from garments that would otherwise you could see through or whatever. That's old school, right? But um, just shopping in that little old lady store and um, getting her little scooter chair, that's what gave her joy. But do you, friend, do you know what brings you joy? Have you been brave enough to say what that thing is? What is it that you like to do? And if you don't really know, then start on the other side. What is it that you really don't like? Because if you don't know and have a clear idea of the things that you like, the things that bring you joy, then chances are you don't have a lot of joy in your life. Chances are you're doing things that you don't like or you don't care anything about. Some people like to go to the movies. Other people like to go camp and go bowling. They like more active things. Some people like to cook. Some people like to watch TV. Just on that short list, does any of that vibe with you? It also reminds me of another good friend, sister, and neighbor. She lives just down the street from me now, and she's my same age, but she spent so much of her life being a wife and mom. It was only at the passing of her husband. He died a few years ago, just before the pandemic, and it was only in not having him in her life and in her house that she realized some things that she didn't know about herself before. She realized upon his passing that she's not a huge fan of TV. She could go days without watching it. She preferred it not be in her bedroom. But it was when she was alone in her quiet time and could independently decide for herself that she realized that. Well, guess what? You can independently decide for yourself right now. And so I said all of this. I walked you through Malcolm Jamal Warner, my seasoned queen that's no longer here, and my good friend that's down the street, to say, go and pursue what gives you joy now. Your next moment, your next breath, and absolutely your next day are not promised. Don't you want to say that you lived full and free? Don't you want to say that you got the most out of life? I want you, I want you right now to be brave. Say what it is that you like. Self inventory and soul work, y'all, is some of the bravest and hardest work that you'll undertake, but it's so worth it. So do it. Go down that list and say, I like these one, two, three things. I think, you know what? On second thought, I really don't like these other three or four things. And begin to compile that list. And then I want you to get some courage about yourself. I want you to spend time pursuing those things now that give you joy. It may be two things. You may say, you know what? I really love frozen yogurt and I really like the outdoors. Well, you know what? Go take a hike. Get you a couple of frozen yogurts. Make sure they're chilled. Put them in a little backpack. Take you a hike. Enjoy yourself. Doesn't matter what anyone thinks about it. Doesn't matter if someone hears you and may poke fun at you or may say you waited all this time to realize that. Don't worry about any of that. I want you to get up. I want you to stand straight. And I want you to walk tall right into your joy. And until next time, I'll holla.